Hello YouTube, and welcome back to more Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. This is part 19. Last time we started exploring the cloud tops, this cotton candy area. This time I aim to conquer it and get to the final elemental dungeon of the game. This part of the game I don't like, and there's several reasons. 1, it's a maze. 2, there's no map. And 3, there's 5 items you need to find, and also 5 places to put those items. It's pretty difficult. A lot of people say this is one of the easiest Zelda games, and this is one of the parts where I think that can be debated. There's a lot of gliding in this area, and you can easily fall and die and lose your health, or get completely lost. So first things first, I'm going to try going down here, and I believe this is taking me back to the beginning. If I get lost in this area, please excuse my sense of direction. These cloud sharks, I don't know if that's their proper name, but that's what I'm going to call them, cloud sharks. They're relatively easy to kill. All it takes is the right timing. Let's see, topics for this episode. Well, this episode I am post-commentating because the audio file got corrupted. Yes, I've been having quite a few problems lately with video files, audio files, and, well, just files in general. Every other video is fine, just the Unmetal video, this one, everything else I think should be okay. So let's patch this one up. So, topics for this episode. Well, what have I been playing lately? I've been playing Bayonetta 3. Overall, I enjoyed it. Really good action game. It did try and do some strange things with the story. It tried to have a multiverse sort of angle, which is an interesting idea, but at times the story did feel a bit jumbled up and didn't always make sense. Also, there was a giant island which for a little while I thought was like an open world for Bayonetta to explore, but thankfully it wasn't. Now, you may be asking, DBT Gamer, do you like open world? Well, yes and no. I think it works for some games, and other games I think open world it makes things more complicated and more tedious, and navigation just goes to hell. Now, I believe this chest has a Kingstone piece. For this area, I advise using the mole mix to dig for secrets. They can be very helpful. Some secrets may be worthless, like these mysterious shells. Mysterious seashells there for a minigame. I'm not gonna cover that in this LP because it's a minigame that's mostly designed for completionists. It's very similar to a quest in Wind Waker. In Wind Waker there was a quest where you could take photos of every enemy and get figurines. Well, in this game, if you put the seashells, if you exchange the seashells with a man, in the town, he gives you a miniature figurine of a certain character. Now, depending on how many seashells you give him and how many figurines you collected, there'll be a certain chance of you getting a duplicate. So the idea is to use the seashells to raise the chance of you not getting duplicates. It's a side quest which it just gives you character models. It's a character model viewing sort of side quest. These things can be fun, but ultimately not worth it. Okay, there are a lot of Kingstone pieces up here if you wish to find them. I would recommend finding as many as possible, because once you are done with this cotton candy area in the clouds, there are a bunch of Kingstone fusion quests. Some of them are mandatory to the story, some of them are completely optional. Point is, you might need more Kingstones, so grab what you can. There's nothing wrong with having a few spare Kingstone pieces. Right, let's see if this fits. Bingo! Okay, we are 4 windmills done. We've got one more to find. Oh boy, it's always a pain when there's one more left. Well, at least this person's happy. Oh, okay, she wants to fuse as well. Yeah, why not? So, triangle one into the red one, sorted. Right, this unlocks an opening a waterfall in the falls. We'll go back there later, because I believe that's near a heart piece, and I would recommend grabbing it. Okay, what's down here? Right. I'm going to try and find the final Kingstone piece now. Hopefully, this won't be too much trouble. Right. Topics. Well, other thoughts on Bayonetta 3? Gameplay wise, I really enjoyed it, you know, it's got a lot of... The action's good. The two main combat-based characters, Viola and Bayonetta, they're both fun to control. And I enjoyed their stories. Now, there is one other character you can play as, John, Bayonetta's good friend. Her gameplay is based around stealth. There aren't many of these levels in the game, thankfully. But as far as stealth gameplay is concerned, this is very, very lenient in terms of stealth gameplay. So, you can either do it full stealth and give yourself like a self-imposed challenge, like some people do in video games, or you can try and be stealthy or brute force it. You're not really, apart from possibly losing health, you won't be punished too much. There is there is another thing that I wasn't too fond of in the game. There is sometimes the story felt a little bit jumbled, and it feels like they may have rushed it or just ran out of steam towards the end. Although the story did make me laugh sometimes. There was one scene in the game. This might be a bit of a spoiler, so if you don't want any spoilers on Bayonetta 3 right now, please skip ahead about a minute or two. But one of the funniest scenes I saw in the game was, I shit you not, dancing zombies. And it just made me burst out laughing because, you know, it's obviously a reference to Michael Jackson and the song Thriller. And it was just a really funny scene. I did not expect to see zombies dancing to Thriller, well, to Thriller-esque music. Okay, what we got here? Right, so this is where I need to put the Kingstone, but I don't have the Kingstone. So, problem is halfway solved. The question is, can I actually find the Kingstone piece? Have to be very careful here. Got to time my gliding just right. I do like the gliding mechanics in this game. They're very simple and the sprite animation is quite funny because you literally just turn your hat into a makeshift parasail. Okay, more land sharks. Let's clear out these things. Okay, I think we're sorted. Right, I believe we are very close now, so go up here. And there's a chest here. Hopefully this is the one I need. Yes, brilliant! So, that's the final Kingstone. Now we just need to make our way back to the last Kingstone altar and put the two pieces together. Unfortunately, we can't go back without going all the way around. This is another part of this area that I feel could have been designed better. You know, a few more tornadoes so that you can circumnavigate this place at your leisure in any way you want. It's a little weird because this is clearly like a free roaming area, but it's also set out in somewhat of a linear fashion. So you can sort of collect these pieces out of order, but it's clear that the game wants you to collect them in a certain order, and it gives the illusion of having the option to get them in a different order without really following through with it. Another reason why I don't like this place, it looks like you can tackle it multiple ways, but it's just quite deceiving. Anyway, I'm going to use the flute here to try and make myself things just a little bit easier. So if you fly back to the Wind Crest, and you're back to the falls, now I wonder, can I do this now? Or do I have to wait till later? Oh, yes, brilliant, I can do it now. That's great. Sometimes to get heart pieces in waterfalls, you have to make a platform and do 2 Kingstone quests, but this one, thankfully, is merciful and gives you after doing 1 Kingstone quest. Right, let's head back to the fluffy cloud tops and find the last altar. Anyway, back to talk about Bayonetta 3. Overall, I'd recommend Bayonetta 3. It's a good game. You know, if I was to get some sort of score, and I'd give it a 4 out of 5. My only real complaint is sometimes the story is a bit confusing because of the whole multiverse thing, and sometimes the stealth sections can be a bit of a pain, and sometimes some of the combat it can be a little bit difficult. I remember summoning. You can summon monsters in the game to help you in battles. This can be helpful, but it can also make things more difficult. it's kind of a double-edged sword because on the one hand, you've got a monster helping you fight, but on the other hand, the camera doesn't always cooperate in this mode. So that makes things really, really difficult because obviously having a camera that functions properly is very important in action games. It's most of the time the camera cooperates. You know, it's at least 70% of the time, but there is that odd time where it won't cooperate. But if I was to give it a score, I give it an 8 out of 10. It's a good action game, and I found it really enjoyable. The ending was quite well, I don't want to spoil the ending here because the game is still relatively new. The ending for the game, it's quite touching and also somewhat unexpected. It caught me a little off guard. And that's all I'm going to say about the ending. Alright, Fusion Ha! And that's the final Kingstone fusion of this cotton candy cloud puzzle. Thank goodness. This nonsense is over. I'm not a fan. Right, now the Cloud tribe can go back to their home in the sky. And we do need to follow them, because that's where the next dungeon is. So use the ocarina, just a quick shortcut, and back to the Vela Falls. And from what I remember, you hopped down here and weave through the water and climb these two staircases, and then you can get back to the tornado. I may have done this a slightly long way around, but this is I'm not the best with mazes, and yeah, the next dungeon itself, it's relatively straightforward. Right, just gonna check something because I may have missed something. Okay, never mind. I'll come back to that later. I do know there's a side quest to do with this giant Goron, but I don't remember how to unlock it. It might have something to do with the fourth and final bottle. Anyway, up we go. This is the final fast travel point in the game, and it's mostly here to give you an easy access to the final dungeon. How do you build something on this cloud, on top of a cloud? Maybe someone lives inside of. If so, perhaps we could ask for the element. It's worth a shot. There's a lot of windmills, so I'm guessing these windmills keep this castle afloat. This reminds me of a Studio Ghibli film, Castle in the Sky, made in 1986. Really good Studio Ghibli film. I would highly recommend it. Right, so there are some rewards up here. You've got a green kingstone and another green kingstone. Now, this little pad on the ground, believe it or not, is actually quite helpful. It takes you back to the surface near the palace, right next to your house. So this is also another shortcut back to this area. This feels somewhat redundant because we unlocked the fast travel point less than a room before. So, I don't know why it's here, but it's nice to have a shortcut. I'm not complaining. It just feels a little bit weird. Anyway, let's perform a fusion. Oh, we've only got one of these left, but I hope this is not going to bite me later on. Let's see what we got. Okay, we've got a treasure chest. I believe that will be for money. Or some other sort of small reward. Maybe a more valuable kingstone later on. Anyway. Let's see. We can also fuse kingstones with this lady. Oh, no. This one? Yes. Alright, this lady gives us... It's a green one, so it's probably something that's not too valuable. Okay, it's a golden enemy, which we can use for later if you're in need of cash. Okay, let's see. We've got 3 boxes here. Got a blue kingstone, another blue kingstone. They're handing these out like candy. And a red kingstone. Right, we need to get this young lady to move in order to get to the final dungeon. So, first things first, let's fuse kingstones. It's another green one, so it's probably nothing too valuable, but you may as well do it. And it's a golden tektite, so again, more money. Right. If you talk to her again, she won't move. You got to talk to the elder who's in this room. First things first, claim your rewards. Just two red kingstones, which can be useful later. Alright, let's check this guy. Welcome! Our tribe abandoned the wind ruins a long time ago. With our magic, we moved our palace to the skies. We've been watching, and we know all that happens on the surface. Like a bunch of CCTV cameras! But only in people form! We're just being watched constantly by elders! A little bit. We know a boy collecting elements to lift the curse from a princess. Okay, so we know of Vati and his evil acts. The winds tell us these things. Okay. The wind element that you seek lies deep in the palace. When the blade is infused, the light force door shall open. So it is told. Vati may already know this. Surface dwellers are not permitted to enter our palace. You may continue to the roof. Right, so once you talk to this guy, and he said that to you, you can now enter the final dungeon. But first, let's fuse kingstones with him. It might unlock something useful later. It's a green one, so I'm not holding out too much hope. Okay, it's a newer chest. This is probably more money, or it could be a higher rank of kingstone. Right. Now, I believe this causes the young lady to move. So, she wants to visit the higher up levels in the sky as well. But right now, she's too frightened. Anyway. I do like this area and this music. Yeah. There's always a fairy here, so if you want to do a little trick where you leave down the staircase to get 2 fairies, you can do that. I would suggest taking at least 1 fairy because this dungeon is quite difficult. Those statues kind of look like the birds from Skyward Sword. Now, Skyward Sword, it might have been in... actually, yes, it was in development when this game was... when this game was launched, because this was one of the later Game Boy Advance games. This game came... Actually, no. This game came out just after the DS launched, so I'm not so sure if those statues are a reference to Loftwings. Maybe, but it could just be a happy accident that they look very similar. Leave it open to interpretation. Anyway, final dungeon, here we go. So, there's a lot of switches and a lot of P-hats. This dungeon has 5 floors for now. Emphasis on the for now. Later in the game, this dungeon is going to get a lot larger and a lot more complicated. Be prepared for a long dungeon. And you've got to be really careful not to fall. You can easily lose a lot of health through clumsiness. There's a lot of cracks on the floor and tight paths and enemies to bump you in and into the ground below, and yeah, this is not a friendly place. The gust bellows are quite useful for dealing with these P-hats. You can also use your bow and arrows, and I'm trying to think what else is useful on these things. Oh yeah, if you have the sword beam ability, that's also a plan as well, but not the most viable because, well, you have to have full health in order to perform that maneuver. Okay, got some arrows. Right. There are a lot of copying puzzles in this dungeon as well, so yeah, this is a really good dungeon. It utilises a lot of items from the past dungeons, and it's just a good challenge. It's really well designed. These skeletons can be quite annoying, except for when they just jump over to the other platform and decide not to bother you anymore. I don't know what that guy's plan was, but I'm not going to complain about easy enemies. Right. Here you need 3 links to move this boulder, so clone yourself and that's it. See you later. Come back! I'm stuck! Seriously! I'll give you anything! No? Oh! Alright. Well, this part is a little bit of a pain. You've got to navigate the rocks, and also the speed of the lift can make things very challenging, so you've got to be really careful. There's a lot of puzzles like this in the dungeon. Okay, to the right. Damn it! Damn it! Okay. This... I'm going to play up to getting the dungeon item. And then I'm going to end the episode. I believe it's not too much further. These little spiky red things, they explode. Be extremely careful. This is a nice little rest stop. If you want to take a break, it can be helpful. Sadly, you've got no control over the platform's momentum, so you have to wait for it to come back. This one moves, which is really dangerous, but not too difficult. Okay, this can be a little bit tricky. But I just suggest avoiding the enemy and moving on. You don't have to kill everything. Choose your battles wisely. These bombs can be a bit of a pain, so be careful. And the fire snakes, also a bit of a pain. This chest you can collect later. You'll need the jump ability in order to collect it. So we'll grab that later. It's nothing super important, so do not worry. Right, so Elzai's pointed out here that you can use the clouds to reach higher areas. Right now, we can't jump high enough. So we're going to have to go around. So head down here. And slip yourself in here to avoid the spiky log. And flip the switch. And there's some hearts and bombs here. This is a simple hint. So you've got to place a bomb in order to solve this puzzle. The game gives you 5, so you shouldn't fail it. Brilliant. On to the mini-boss. The mini-boss is Wizrobes. Wizrobes, they are too difficult, thankfully. Just dodge their magical energy and attack them whilst they're distracted. The game does throw a lot of them at you. You have to destroy at least 6 of them. This fight could be difficult if you get overwhelmed by the sheer numbers, but mostly it's not that difficult at all. Okay, 6 more. My mistake, there's 12. If you have a potion, this may be a good time to use it if you are struggling. But other than that, these guys, they aren't much of a problem. They only do, I think it's 1/4 of a heart damage. You'd think they would do more damage because they're in one of the later dungeons of the game, but they really don't do much damage and they're not much of a threat. Anyway, our item is the legendary Rocks Cape. This is one of my favourite items in all Zelda games. I really like the Rocks Cape. It's a jump, a double jump, and also a jump, then glide. So yeah, you can jump and then do a very long glide. Later in the dungeon there will be some fans which can make you do an even longer glide. So it's just a really useful item. And I would highly recommend it. It's fantastic. One of my all-time favourites. There's also some sword skills that can be performed with as well that we'll get later. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video here. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.